let's talk about our sleepovers as a child. Hi, I'm Judy Shearwaters. Welcome to my channel. Here I bring you author interviews of ordinary people who had a story they needed to share with the world. I also bring you short little writing prompts so that you can get those creative juices going in your own brain so that you can write your stories for your generations to come. Because you know what? You have a story to tell. So let me help you tell it. So as a child, I remember specifically two different homes that girlfriends that I would go stay with as a child. And one of them, we would camp out under the weeping willows in the backyard. And I just loved that. It was like, I don't know, just like a fairyland, I guess, of those willows just hanging down to the ground. And we would just take blankets out there. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so we slept outside a lot in the summer. Another place was down the other direction, and they had two girls about my age, one a couple years older, one maybe, I think, a year younger. But I loved sleeping in their bedroom. It was a sloped ceiling, and they had probably a full-size bed back at that time, and the three of us slept together, and it was just a cozy feeling because it was a small room. And I'll never forget that feeling of I don't know, security, I guess it was, but I loved sleeping there. Well, there was another one who had very high, another girlfriend had very high ceilings, and that seemed to me like sleeping in a palace. I think I had a creative brain even at that time, and I could make up stories about every place where I went. But we had cousins who would come to the farm and stay overnight a lot during the summer. And we'd sleep out in the orchard, take blankets out. I remember taking Mom's quilts. Daddy made us a big playhouse. Well, we thought it was big, big enough for us to sleep in the summer. And we would sleep out there, camp out for many days at a time, just out in the orchard. So let's think about that. What did you do in your childhood days? Did you have a girlfriend, or if you may be a grandpa listening to this or a man listening to this, did you have sleepovers with friends? And what was that like? How did that make you feel? Did you miss home? I don't think I ever missed home. Of course, our sleepovers were only maybe 1 or 2 nights at the most. But, and home was very close. I don't think I ever spent the night out anywhere until I was about 16, when I went to Maine and stayed a week with my cousins out at their cabin on a lake in Maine. And I did get homesick then. But in my early childhood days, I never got homesick because Mom and Daddy were very close, like within a couple miles. But anyway, think about that. Think about all the fun you had, how you felt in those different rooms. Were there different sounds that you heard? Different smells? I know going to the one house with the weeping willows, I know that was a big farm, a big working farm, and you always had the smell of the cows, or you had, which didn't bother me because I grew up on a farm too, but you had the rooster crowing in the morning. We didn't have roosters, but perhaps there were different sounds, different smells in the morning. Maybe getting up in the morning. Maybe you weren't used to having a fully cooked meal in the morning, and yet where you spent the night, they did. So write about the smells, what you heard, how it made you feel. Did you feel different? Did you feel security? Was it a small room? Was it tilted ceiling, slanting ceiling? I love those ceilings. My grandma had one. I think I spent the night a couple times with Grandma, and it had a slanting ceiling. So think about the 5 senses. How did it make you feel? What did you see in that room? Was it beautifully decorated? The one with the high ceilings really didn't have a lot of decorations, and yet I felt like I was in a palace just because the room was so big. So what did you see? What did you hear? How did you feel? Think about all those different aspects of sleeping over at a different place. and get that written down. Your generations to come will think it's kind of fun reading through those little stories of a time when you were a child. So, if you enjoy receiving videos like this, go ahead and make sure that you like this video. Hopefully you've already subscribed. If not, subscribe and share my channel with friends who you know need to have their story written. So until next time, I'm Judy Shearwaters. You have a story to tell. Let me help you tell it.